Has KD finally proved he is the most important Warrior?
I believe so. I believe so. But it has nothing to do with skill.
Okay.
It has everything to do with two things involving Steph Curry. The health issue in terms of the physicality that they could throw in his direction to try to offset him. You always have to watch out for his ankles as well. And recent foul trouble. Because he's been getting himself in foul trouble so much so to the point that Steve Kerr had to pull him aside in the first series and say to him, let him score. We need you out on the court. You're that important to us. We recognize that. But especially since Kevin Durant said, you know who I am.
Yeah.
Y'all know who I am. The man is averaging 40 over his last 5 games. Yeah. This dude is just on another level. When you consider the offensive arsenal that he has available, it's the three-point shot, it's the pull-up, it's the mid-range game, it's the floater, it's off the one leg, falling back, the fadeaway. The list just goes on and on. It doesn't matter. If you're his height, you're usually too short. If you're smaller than him, he can shoot over you. If you're bigger, you're slower, and he can get around you. And it doesn't matter. Can't send him to the free throw line. Yeah. Can't leave him an open 3. Can't leave him an open mid-range game. Can't do anything. I mean, offensively, it is just on that level. And so when I look at it, I say to myself, Steph Curry, the greatest shooter that I have ever seen, when he is exploding, there is nothing quite like it with the Warriors, particularly at the Oracle. The issue is, I can't tell you how many times we've looked, and when Steph Curry is struggling, he doesn't have the greatest game in the world or whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter. Kevin Durant, consistently, you're just falling asleep, you're nodding off, Golden State is running away with something, or Golden State is in a competitive game. It doesn't, Steph Curry explodes or Klay Thompson explodes or whatever. And even quietly, you look at the numbers and all of a sudden, Kevin Durant, 30.
Yeah.
It's just who he is.
How about he won Finals MVP in both of their runs, and Steph Curry didn't?
It's just who he is.
It's
just who he is.
Iggy won the other one in their 3 championship runs.
I agree about Steph under pressure, by the way. I give Harden a hard time, and he deserves it. And Steph does other things on offense to help. But Steph also is not nearly the same level reliable shooter under pressure late in the playoffs as he is normally. I had my eye on all that. I thought he was going to supplant LeBron because this era favors his style. But when it mattered most, he wasn't able to do it. I don't think KD is the most important Warrior, but I do think he's the tipping point Warrior. Once KD joined the team, it was over, right? Like, until then, they might win and they should win, but they could be upset. LeBron took him 6 games with Dellavedova as his second-best player. Then LeBron beat him. Once they got KD, it was like, bye, league, or at least everyone but the Rockets, see you later. And I give it to KD. That moment that you said, Stephen A., you know who I am. It's that Swiss Beats moment. You know my name. You see the candy paint. It spell my name. He should spray paint his car, KD. I love that answer. I said it at the time. Like it, love it, or hate it. I love it. It was as we used to say in the old days, a gangster moment for KD. And he repeated it too. Said it twice. Now, he won MVP in the last 2 finals, but I have not given him full credit for the same reason you said it was the weakest move a superstar ever made. You joined a team that just beat you, but also a team that just won 73 games. But I'll say this for KD. Last year, when they needed it most, not that they really needed it most against the Cavs, but when they did, KD had his best game when other guys weren't playing well. And once again, we see Steph and Klay on bum wheels, not hitting shots as they normally do. It is KD who is stepping up. So I will not say he's the most valuable Warrior or the most important Warrior or the best player in the world yet, but he is starting to really make his case for real.
Nobody was as outspoken as I was against KD's move to Golden State. And I called it the weakest move that I'd ever seen by a superstar or whatever. And although I apologize to Mama because we don't want to offend Mama Durant.
I was there for that.
We never want to do that. The flip side to it is that here's another reason why I calmed down with that talk. Because people used it as a license to misconstrue what I was saying. I wasn't questioning his greatness. What I was saying is, you're so great, you eradicated the competition. There is none. Nobody can mess with you because you're that phenomenal, and you joined the greatest shooting backcourt that I've ever seen and the greatest shooter that I've ever seen in my life. My God, who has a chance? And sure enough, nobody had a chance the 2 years ago, and last year Houston had a chance, but in my mind really didn't have a chance. But I also backed off of it because we saw Kevin Durant show up in the NBA Finals. It's like, yo, LeBron, I got a crew now. You joined your super squad one time. I got my crew now. Let's go. Let's get it on. And averaged 35 and 8 himself, even though LeBron averaged a triple-double. I'm telling you right now, when you look at KD, it's not his ability to explode and the fact that over the last 5 games, 38, 33, 45, 50, and 35. It's not that. It's that the first 2 games of the Clippers when he dropped 23 in the first game and got ejected and then fouled out, only having 21 points in game 2, those were aberrations. That's why. Usually you look at KD, he's shooting better than 48%. He's averaging better than 25. It's what he does.
And playing defense
all
really
the time.
well.
I mean, consistently, you can sleepwalk. You can take his greatness for granted.
When he joined the Warriors, this is the issue I had with KD. The thing you're going there to prove, when you do it, it's not going to prove it. In other words, by winning championships with that team, you're not proving what you're trying to prove, what you think you're proving. You're not. No one's going to give you credit for that fully because of the team you're on. That's one of the reasons we hear Knicks a lot now. You know, even Clippers at first, right? Knicks would be like
Clippers more.
Yeah, right. Knicks would be like, oh my God, he could win with the Knicks, but it's hard. You need help. You can't do it all by yourself. Clippers even. You could say, well, it's him and Kawhi. There's no such thing as a championship team that doesn't have multiple all-stars. That's why you start to hear him. He knows. KD must know. I'm not proving all I could prove on this team. He's going to have to leave.
But let me tell you what you're missing, because they didn't just go, to something to prove in terms of what you're alluding to. See, LeBron taught them this. When you talk about becoming a global iconic brand in China and other places, you got to be a champion. You got to be a champion, which is one of the reasons why Kobe was more popular than damn near even Yao Ming over there, for crying out loud, because Kobe was a champion, and that's what the world respects.